Hey y'all, welcome back to Heartfelt Expressions with Katara Speaks. Every time I start an intro so professionally, I cringe at my intro because this is supposed to be me talking to you. Woo! Let's close that book as we open a new one. Today, did that even make sense? Today, we're talking about bittersweet endings. Yeah, and the depths and emotions and all of that jazz. Well, I guess, yeah, we're transitioning into less professional intros because, yeah, I don't like that. Bittersweet, bittersweet endings, y'all. Hope you guys enjoy. Alright, y'all. Today we are going to talk about bittersweet endings. Honestly, I have been in my emotions for the past couple of days, and I did not even want to come on here and talk about it. I. Guys, how I'm feeling right now is like I wanted some things to end, you know? Though, mm, it feels like a goodbye in a sense. I know I'm vague. um, it could be bittersweet. Have you guys ever felt that way? For example, I remember this feeling when I was done my academics, whether in high school or college. I was looking forward to graduating so much to get out of school, you know? Though the familiarity, the lifestyle that I had during those moments of my life, those chapters, the people, it also ended in those chapters. And I'm experiencing another bittersweet ending, and I have been feeling my emotions. I feel. Let's talk about it. What do I feel? I feel as if I just left something that I cannot go back to, you know? Um, you cannot reverse the hands of time and expect everything to be the same. Even if the environment may be the same, the people may be the same, things change. And if it wasn't, okay, if nothing changed, right? I told you guys I had a new fear unlocked in one of the episodes where it was nostalgic. I walked into a time capsule, nothing changed within 20 years. It scared the heck out of me. It is normal for things to change. It is normal for people to grow. It's normal for the ebbs and flows of life. So to try to go back to a time period that no longer is, you know? You grow. Um, as we grow, things change. Yeah. So this ending was bittersweet for me, and I was feeling my emotions. I felt sad. I was grieving the loss of the chapter. I guess it wasn't loss of the chapter, loss of that period of my life. Even though it's not loss per se, we have the memories, sometimes the photos, mm, videos, or whatever time capsule that we have it is not experienced entirely in the present. I say bittersweet because sweet in the sense that I wanted things to end. Sometimes you are looking forward to an end of a job, like you wanted to move on. Though that period was your norm, in a sense. And when you look back, it's nostalgic. You cherish the moments. You're not thinking about all the bad things sometimes. You're glad that that chapter was ending, though it feels like you miss it. You don't miss everything about it, you miss some aspects of it. And I did not want to acknowledge my feelings, and since I have not been acknowledging them, my body has been loud about it. I've been trying to stuff down my feelings as if, um, imagine you're stuffing something, stuffing a box to overflow, or filling up a bottle so much that the water overflows out of it. Something where it bunches up so much that you no longer, that container no longer had the capacity to hold what you're trying to put in. My body was telling me, hey, feel your emotions because this is too much. It was overwhelming for sure. And I just wanted to ignore it. I just wanted to stuff down all the emotions. I didn't want to feel it. And the more that I did that, the more I did not feel at my absolute best. And I was asking myself, what do I need to do then? How can I feel my emotions? How can I express myself? And the answer has been, hey, let's talk about it on the podcast, on Heartfelt Expressions with Katara Speaks. And I have been wanting to talk on here. Though the other day I was angry. I was so angry, and because I was feeling the emotions, you know? Now I am, it's like the grieving process where you go through all the emotions, all the stages, denial, acceptance. I am not at acceptance at this moment. You know, grief. I forgot all the cycles. Denial. I definitely was in denial. I just wanted to ignore it altogether. Yeah, it's been a roller coaster ride in that sense. Um, it's normal, you know, feeling our emotions. I'm telling myself this as I'm speaking to you guys that it's normal to feel our emotions. By the way, I um I choose to admit that I was moping on the floor the other day, moping on the carpet for like 2 hours because yeah, I didn't want things to end, though it did. Things was not the same as it used to be. I tried to revisit, I tried to reverse the ending, tried to delay it as much as possible. Though going back to the previous chapter of my life was not conducive, was not good for me, and things was not the same. And it's okay that things aren't the same. That was what I wanted. Though when I got what I wanted, you know, it felt uncomfortable. It's freeing, in a sense, though uncomfortable, to transition into something new. Big much. Of course, of course. There, maybe you can relate um to the feelings that I'm feeling, or the thought process or something in regards to bittersweet endings, whether with school, with work, with vacations. Yeah, vacations. No, yeah, nah. Is vacations a bittersweet ending? Sometimes people get homesick that they want to go back home, though they want to experience vacation longer. So maybe vacations could be viable. Yeah, a lot of things has been changing. Whew, a period of growth. All right. I also wanted to talk to you guys um about some things. So, I I was thinking about the episodes I said before about remastering this podcast. I realize the beauty of this podcast is you guys are growing with me on this journey. And when I just started this podcast, it was rough. It might still be rough with the audio. I am winging it. This is not the most professional podcast. You guys are getting the raw production of this because yeah, in future podcasts or whatever endeavors I do, it will have a different feel. So I do not feel the need to do a remastered version of this podcast because you guys are growing with me. Yeah, the audio was not the best. You guys might have to turn the volume up in your car to like 40 or 50. I remember I I had the sound up to like 40 or something, 37. I'm not sure because I could not hear myself. It was that light. And I do apologize for the technical difficulties. There, I was struggling, honestly. In the beginning of this podcast, it started with me watching a Janet Jackson documentary. um, I thought I mispronounced it. um, yeah, and I was getting out of a period of my life. Wow, bittersweet, bittersweet endings. I was going out a period of my life where I felt as if I did not have control over my life. I I'm not sure if I admitted that I moved out of my parents. Though around that time I moved out of my parents for the first time. And well, I guess, yeah. Something like that. Um it was tough emotionally for me. I wanted that independence. I wanted to make my own decisions. So I took that leap. I I created a podcast, recorded a trailer, and the first episode. That's where it all started. And I thought that was marking the beginning, the ending in the beginning. It sure did. Ooh, after that period of, after that episode, right? I transitioned into, wow, we are going into the details a little into the details. After that episode, I transitioned into the best and worst period of my life. It was tough mentally and emotionally for me. I gained a lot of responsibilities, met a lot of people, I did a lot of things. I'm still vague. Of course, of course. And I was also experiencing what the transfer of control. I felt as if I was trying to please other people. I'm trying to meet the expectations of others besides for my family. And it was too much, honestly. I was struggling for a long, long time. Until I finally did the second episode of Heartfelt Expressions with Katara Speaks, season one. At first, in season one, I did not have seasons. I was just creating episodes just to create episodes. And I realized in the season two trailer, I was saying that season one was about my past. It was honestly, season one was about anything that was on my mind. One of the episodes was about poop. The randomest title is Poop Taboo. It does not match any of the other episodes. I think I talked about self expression or something in there, though it is, it stands out, I must say. I realized there wasn't really a theme to season one. I tried to make it about, oh, it was about my past. Though I also talked about my present during those moments too. Now that I think about it, I was going through things, especially with the friendship episode. I was feeling my emotions. I really was. So I'm doing the best that I can, y'all, and you guys are on this journey with me. I realized that I might have a season 4 because I anticipated. This is what my plan was initially. A trilogy, right? Well, after I made that change in decision, that shift. Initially, I wanted to have season 1, past, season 2, present, season 3, future. Well, we might have to push things back a little because things are not panning out the way I anticipated. We might have a season 4 about, it's season 3 is going to be put to season 4. We might have 2 season 2s in a sense. Season 2 part 2, but season 3. You know what I mean? Because I am still working out the kinks of my endeavors, y'all. It has been slower than I wanted. Though I am laying that foundation. I am vague. Yes. It's going to be amazing when everything comes together. Though also, I think season 3 will be about talking about a lot of the vagueness I I am doing now. You know, I will be less vague. I will give you guys more details. It's difficult to share with you guys what I'm going through all the way because this is a process, y'all, and I do not want to uncover everything. Of course not. Why would anyone? Though it will be easier to uncover more of my struggles that I have been experiencing later down the line. Because, ooh, buddy, it could be tough. Um, the vulnerability I do share on here, I hope that you guys could relate, you know? That it gives you guys courage in your own lives to reflect and realize that it is okay to not share everything if you do not choose to. Yeah. um, the things that I shared on here on this podcast is things that I'm okay with people listening to. And yeah. So later down the line, when things connect more, I can share you guys the backstory in a sense, the missing pieces more so, the missing pieces in the story. It's like we weaving back, almost like it's not a filler episode per se, though the backstory of the the episodes. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I hope you guys will be with me on that journey because it is interesting. Is honestly, this is an interesting experience now, creating these episodes, because sometimes the thought pops up. Why would anyone listen to my story? Why does it matter to share the backstory before everything comes together? Why would anyone care? Why am I sharing it now? Because right now I could record all these things and share them later, you know, when there's a high demand for people to know the ins and outs. Though, if I wait until later to publish these things, right, I would not publish them. Why? It is cringe. I cringe at some of my episodes, especially the audio quality, though it is raw. And letting you guys get a glimpse of my journey as I am growing, it is more relatable. It is. Because later on, I will have so much better technology and skills to do all this, to have a professional production, that I would look at all these things, all these audios, and be like, yeah, I'll just summarize what I felt at those moments. And yeah, I don't have to put out the raw emotions. And I feel like that sometimes give the process a the story and the process some injustice, because you guys are seeing it from a different point of view, you know? Yeah, that's why I am doing this now. Besides from also documenting it for myself, because I sometimes forget my progress. It's sometimes hard to realize that I'm doing anything, anything with my life sometimes when I'm, like I told you, moping on the floor for 2 hours in the depths of my emotions, sad. I was just sad. I was just out of it. I didn't want to do anything. And this is where rock bottom comes in. And then when I listen to my playlist sometimes, it triggers me. When I listen to my rock bottom playlist, because sometimes that's how I'm feeling, I get triggered back to different chapters in my life, and it's like, all right, I'm going down the rabbit hole, and I am stuck. I'm not getting out. I don't even have the strength to pull myself out of it. And it gets dark. It really do. So sometimes I just be in silence, just feeling the sadness. And after 2 hours, I felt good. I had energy to cook, had energy to eat, I had energy to do things with my life. Yeah, listen to your body, feel your emotions. I am also telling myself that because, yeah, I was pushing down all the emotions I was feeling for the past couple of days. And I was going to continue doing that today because I was like, oh my gosh, this would be vulnerable. Why would I ever want to share this with the world? Though this is part of my process, you know? The back and forth, speaking in my head. It's like if I was not speaking to you guys, I would be doing this in the corner, back and forth, arguing with myself in a sense, and trying to logic my way into, hey, feel your emotions. Like, I don't want to feel my emotions. It feels sucks. It sucks to feel your emotions. Why would I want to do that? Oh, because you'll feel better after you feel the sadness. And in my mind, I'm like, how does that make sense? Would I feel better if I feel sad? If I let myself feel sad, I will be sad. So when I was on the floor the other day, I was like, yes, since I feel bad, feeling bad makes me feel good because I'm feeling my emotions. So I'm going to feel bad and feel sad and angry, all these emotions forever. That's what it feels like. Though, once you feel your emotions or express them through an outlet, whether it's art, dance, speaking, anything, you feel better. Like now that I'm talking about it, I actually feel better than I did before I started. Because I was feeling kind of anxious, y'all. I didn't want to be vulnerable. It is scary. Even though I've been doing this podcast for a while, it is scary to be vulnerable. Why? Because it's acknowledging how you feel and how other people would perceive your feelings or your vulnerability. Though honestly, it does not matter what other people think. Yeah, and I try to tell myself that all the time. It doesn't matter what people think. But sometimes it does. Like sometimes I feel that it does matter about if you guys will receive this podcast well, this episode well, whether, oh, my feelings are valid. Of course, my feelings are valid. Maybe the narrative might not be the most logical or the most, you know, well supported. My feelings are my feelings. Your feelings are your feelings. Yeah. And when I say other people's opinions don't matter and stuff like that, take it as you will. Because yeah, there's different scenarios where people's opinions kind of do matter. If it regards people's safety, your safety, yeah, I'm drawing a blank. When I think too hard, I draw a blank because, like, where would I go with that? I'm not even sure. Ooh, by the way, I listened to the last episode, Affects Expectations. I didn't share with you guys. I had two versions of that episode. Well, several versions. I did not even save some of the versions because I was so frustrated. Some of them were supposed to be quote unquote bloopers. Though I was so frustrated, I deleted altogether, not even in my archives or anything. That's how upset I was. Um, because when I first listened to what you guys heard, if you guys listened to it, I was like, oh my gosh, it feels so scripted. It really was. I tried my darnest to make it sound natural. It kind of did. Like the words was, but the delivery might not be. I'm not sure. I might be overthinking it. So, I created a second version of that episode, and it was as if I was yelling at you guys when I was supposed to be calm. I was yelling when I was talking about laying on the floor, on the carpet, and feeling as if I was in the ocean, looking at the sky. And the way I delivered the script, I was basically, yeah, in your face. Even though it was all audio, I was uncomfortable re listening to that. And I was like, why so angry? So I tried, well, I didn't try. I put out the other version instead. That's out and about. Yeah, sometimes the first take is the best take. Though the scripted versions of these, I don't think I want to do that again. Not for this podcast. It was so structured. Maybe for other productions, I will do scripts. Though for this podcast, I feel that it's more natural to speak from my heart and speak from my mind. If I said all those things that I said to y'all off the dome, it would have been better. Yeah. Whew. Okay. I said a heck of a lot. I think that's good for now. Yeah. Oh, guys, I'm not sure. We might be transitioning into a, since I told you guys, bittersweet endings. Yeah. Um, I might start doing videos for my podcast. I may or may not. I am not sure. The first time I tried to do video for this podcast, I was frustrated. Yeah. Um, I am not sure. I think it will be cool in a sense. I'm kind of self conscious sometimes about how I look on camera, especially since on my phone, if I do it sideways to make it accessible horizontally, then I had to look at the camera in a weird way, and it's it's a lot of thinking. It's not so much thinking, but to me, I feel like I had to constantly look at the camera, you know? Yeah. So this might be, I don't think it's gonna be the last, but it might be the last episode where I have just audio. Because it would be cool to have video. We'll see how that works out. If it is, I might have that available on a different platform, I suppose. I'm not sure how this works with the audio and video. Maybe you guys will still hear the audio on here, whatever you're listening to it to on, something like that. And there will be a video aspect. Yeah, and you guys can see my plushies because I get anxious, especially about the topics that I share sometimes and the emotions. I have a plushie now, and if I do video, I'll have a plushie every time. Yeah, because that's a thing. Yeah, that's a thing. All right, I think that is good for today. I feel better. Thank you guys for listening because, yeah, it feels like I'm talking to a friend in a sense. Um, you guys help me feel better, and I hope you guys, I'm not sure if you guys was feeling bad. Well, I hope you guys feel better if you guys was feeling bad, because being able to relate to someone is so valuable. To feel that you're not alone in your emotions and your experiences, it feels good to know that you're not the only one. Yeah, I think I'm creating this podcast also for me from before, because I felt that there was no one else like me. Based on my environment, I didn't know. But sometimes you don't know what you don't know because people don't share the internal struggles. People don't share how they're feeling, how they're thinking, or what they're going through. So people around you might be going through the same thing. Yeah, though if they don't share it, you wouldn't know. So, yeah, I hope I was able to provide um something like that. A reminder that you're not the only one, or the realization you're not the only one with my journey. Yeah. Isn't this ironic? We talked about bittersweet endings today, and I covered a lot of things that are ending with previous expectations of this podcast, of different experiences in my life, even though I was quite big. And I introduced y'all to some potential new books, chapters, seasons that I will be sharing with you guys. It is quite a bittersweet thing because things has been done a certain way for so long, that doing something different is a little uncomfortable. So, yeah, I am feeling my emotions now because wow, this might be the last episode where I only have audio. It would be kind of cool to have video too, though it it is different. Different is not always a bad thing. It could be a good thing. It could be a neutral thing. It could be whatever we feel that it is. Though emotions are being felt and brought up about this new chapter. Um, oh yeah, this is also the last episode that I will be recording on this app that I'm recording on because it's transitioning as well. Something I've been using for so long has been so user friendly and transitioning to a new application, a new way of recording is a bit emotional. It shouldn't be, the word should. It is what it is, It's like, hey, I feel this emotions. Um and yes, it's okay. Oh my gosh, I did not expect to feel this emotion about transitioning to a new platform to record these podcasts. Though things won't be the same. I still want to create episodes, for sure, documenting my journey, though the way I've been documenting them before is going to shift. I still hope the quality. Well, I'm not sure if the quality is even good now. I hope the quality is better. The same or better for the next productions, next episodes. Yeah, I'm going to sit with my emotions after this episode because this is the outro. Yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know about that. Um, how do you guys feel about endings? Have you felt the bittersweetness of it? And what are some examples, You don't have to answer it with me, but if you choose to, if they still have that function, I'm not even sure. If you choose to, there should be a question in Spotify where you can answer it. Yeah, I think they still will still have that function. If they do not, uh, that is another ending. Ah, laugh because it's awkward. Laugh because just that. What else could I do? I laugh a lot when it's not funny. It's a way to release stress. release release. Yeah. Okay. Um I don't know. You guys can do reviews of this episode of this podcast. You can share your thoughts. Share it with someone you know, share it with your community. I'm not sure. Um you could follow the podcast, I think. Um download the episode, re listen to it, or listen to other episodes. Yeah. Okay. Until next time, I'll see y'all soon.